Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my Master Your Marketing Mastermind. And I have in my hot seat a beautiful young lady that I've been following on Facebook for a year. I think I've been stalking her. So she's just learning this. So keep it kind of quiet that I do that. But her name is Jolie Dawn. She lives in Texas. She's originally from San Diego. And she is an intuitive business coach and a best-selling author. And I am so excited to have her today. Welcome to our platform, Jolie.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. I love our little matching earbuds, got to keep it real technical here. So I'm going to dive right in with Jolie because I have so many questions for her. She's one of those beautiful lights you just kind of see in Facebook and you just want to just find out what's going on in her life. She's got such an authentic way of reaching out to people on this planet. And I just felt compelled to interview her. So Jolie, if you don't mind, just kind of share with us kind of your journey. How did this business pull to you? How did you get called into this beautiful industry that we have?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people do end up following me on Facebook and in social media and subscribe to my things because I have such a belief in radical honesty and authenticity. And if there is one thing that has accelerated my path as an entrepreneur and as a thought leader, as an expert, it's been letting people inside and know who I am. And, I had a really hard start to my early 20s. So when I just into womanhood in general, it was just an interesting time in our economic just structure in the United States. I was 20 years old when my dad chose to end his life, and it was because of money. He couldn't get his law firm afloat. He couldn't figure out how to rebound from the financial crisis. And that was a huge imprinting on me. I was like, wow, so this system had such an impact on my family that we couldn't recover from it. And it took my dad needing to leave the planet permanently to have any sort of remedy. That was his mind. And so, I really sought out the journey of self-discovery and meditation and Eastern philosophy. And I had a pretty abrupt spiritual awakening when I was 22. And I went right from my marketing degree into real estate investment company. I had an amazing job. And during my awakening, I remember thinking to myself, I absolutely cannot talk about anything in this life if it doesn't have to do with human consciousness and awakening. That has to be my conversation when I pick up the phone every single day. That has to be the thing that drives me. And so I started hosting live events in San Diego. I built San Diego's largest women's empowerment gathering called Inner Goddess Unleashed Summit. Started my life coaching business with retreats and group programs, and then really wanted to bring in the business aspect and bring in internet marketing, my love for branding and messaging and positioning. And so I've been doing that for the past 3 years.
Oh my goodness. I can relate to your story, definitely. And I do have a passion for marketing too. It's something about giving a woman permission to have her voice and just blast it out there and all the pretty colors you get to have and show her true self. It's so much fun. That is definitely a challenge with your father. That's very sad. It can, especially at 20 years old, so young. I'm sure it kind of is a fuel to your why of what you do and why you do it. How has that fueled your business in the good times and the bad times? I mean, we all have some turbulent waters in business. It's never as simple as it looks from the outside looking in.
Yeah. I think the major thing is it caused me a lot of pain with money and aligning to the mainstream just ideas of scarcity and living in scarcity so deep and believing this lie so in our core that it just causes so much trauma. And so I do a lot of unearthing, what is the pattern on money with my clients? And all the time I hear it was greatest source of pain and suffering in their childhood and why their parents fought and why their father left and why they couldn't pick the college they wanted to go to. And so it's so normalized to live in lack and scarcity. And I just have zero tolerance for it because our most innate natural way of being is prosperity. And I'm somebody that just has such a high desire for freedom and choice and ease. And I'm willing to have it. And it doesn't matter where you've been and how old you are and how skilled you are, you can absolutely have it. You can come to a place where money isn't this constant nagging source of pain. So that really shaped me when I was younger because I saw somebody choose to end their life over to figure out their money.
Yeah. It's sad that it has that much control on us too. It's kind of wait a minute, let me take my power back. I get to choose how I react to the situation and so on. I think we all kind of grew up in a situation like that. I mean, one of 5 kids. I'm a pastor's kid. It was literally scraping by. Dad would, run the church, built the church, would paint cars on the side. So I saw the scarcity, the rich dad, poor dad. Yeah, the poor dad was my side.
Yeah, same.
And it takes so long to pull those roots out. It feels like a lifelong project some days. But I love that you talk about that, because we're both business coaches, and that's what we talk about all day long is money. That's why people hire us. I want to make money. I want to do what I love. Is this possible? And I don't know about you, but that's like the first thing I dive into is the money belief, because you can teach them every strategy under the sun, but they will kick it sideways with their thoughts, or self-sabotage, or push it away because of the lack of worthiness shows up. I want to talk about your title because it intrigues me. You call yourself an intuitive business coach. Explain how you bring that into your business.
So I've been actively working and developing my psychic gifts for about 5 to 6 years. And so I studied with an enlightened master. I've had multiple abrupt spiritual awakenings. I've led and been a part of many medicine journeys. And so I bring that aspect into my work. So I read tarot cards. And I think my psychic skills show up in a unique and interesting way. So I see visuals. And I see pictures, and I am a projector in human design, and I can really see and predict when a launch is going to work and when it's not. And getting the language right, getting the messaging right, getting the brand right, I can really see into a person. And so my gifts go so much deeper than just the superficial. I can really see inside somebody and see and pull out their greatest gifts, and then create a launch and a monetization strategy around that. And I'm just like witchy in every sense of the word. I mean, I love my full moon rituals.
Yes.
I have, rituals and practices that I do every single day. So many things that I love to bring into my work and make a part of the business creation process. You don't lose your mind in it, where you can take care of your spirit, be in rituals and routines, and really not just study these laws of the universe, like the law of attraction and the vortex by Abraham Hicks, but to put it into place and actually use it. So that's why I say intuitive business coach, because I really activate intuition, and I want all my clients to activate their intuition in their business.
Absolutely. I can't think of a better way to do it. I used to work for a global business coaching company. It was all headspace. So you can imagine, it was in 60 some countries. And you're working with 98% male that at one point or another, and there's nothing against this, but it's just to give an image, that were CPAs, lawyers. They were just used to the rational side of everything. And they wanted numbers all the time. Everything's numbers. I'm like, my intuition, I know this person's buying over here. This is closing. They're like, how do you put Carrie in a system? Can you duplicate what Carrie's doing? I'm like, I can't. It's all, energy, intuition. I'm getting visions. I know what's going on over here. Yeah, it didn't work so well. It was like putting a square peg in a round hole for me for 5 years working in that organization. But they're like, she's crazy. I've got my crystals, my love quartz. I've got my citrine. I've got my selenite.
I'm like, let's do show and tell. What's on our desk?
I've got tarot cards over here. Like you're saying that, I'm looking at my desk like,
got my card.
Busted. Yep, I've got mine right here. I love, because I'm a Pisces, so I'm a mermaid girl. So that's one of them that I use, the mermaids and dolphins. So yeah, I'm with you. It's just, and I attract a lot of those types of clients too. They're empathic or energetically get it. It's not a coincidence. It's alignment. It's all about, connecting with the right people that get it. And energy is necessary in business. Those things do matter, because, you said something about the superficial, which just pulls me in, which I'm, my take on lately is a lot of superficial marketing going on out there. It's not authentic. And what people, and I state this a lot in this interview series, what people don't realize is we can feel your words. We're not just reading your words, or we can feel the intent behind it.
Yeah.
So what's your take on authentic marketing versus, and I know you see it too, a lot of pitchy, overdone, just give me your take.
Yeah, I think the thing that annoys me most is how much copying is happening.
Yes.
So my newsfeed, I think because what I click on and what Facebook deems to be important to me, I see all the business coaches and all of their copy. And, like my mentor, Corey Michelle with Access Consciousness, I've watched so many people knock off her copy. And, she'll come up with a term and a tagline. She just did like unfuck your life. And that was like, it was so uniquely hers. And then boom, 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 unfucking yourself. And I'm like, so that kind of gets to me, and I know where it comes from. And I know that they're just trying to do the best they can in copywriting, but I feel like just the lack of integrity gets to me a little bit. But the thing that I teach and the thing that I want to bring today is, what I teach my clients and students is attraction-based businesses. And so the ability to work on the energetic level, to call your clients in so they find you. And there really is a possibility when you get into your business where it's like referrals, people reaching out, people seeking you, where you don't have to do all this like chasing and hunting.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of women come to me, they're like, I created a monster in my business. Like it is the thing that I resent. I feel like I'm overly masculine in it. And there really truly is a way of being where you can be at ease. You can be in flow in your business. And of course we're going to do sprints and launches and things like that. But overall, my jam, the way that I operate best, I'm not a worker bee. I don't do 16-hour days. Like that's never been my jam. But I really have gotten one thing down, was just an attraction-based business where I attract people to me. And I do that in a couple of styles. I'm radically vulnerable. I don't try to pretend like I have all the answers or that I'm the best business coach in the world. I know the things that I do really well. I share about it. I share the results of my clients. I have a lot of people willing to do testimonials about the work we do together. Really big results happen in my program. And I just share that. Like Sophie came to my program, never having ever done a coaching platform before and having a $6,000 launch in 5 weeks. Mikkel having 40 clients in nutrition and then having a $27,000 launch when we redid her prices. And so, I do that by sharing, by putting myself out there, by being just human. I think that when people can feel your humanness, you've got the key to marketing.
Yes.
And there's a lot of conversations in the digital marketing space where they're starting to realize it is a relationship building game. It's not like, give me your emails and buy this from me. Like the things and strategies that used to work, I think in the 2000s, just simply aren't there anymore. We have to slow it down. We have to build relationships. We have to give something before we ask. And so, yep, I'm with you on that. I see all the tactics. I see all the strategies. And the thing that I share with my clients and even just my friends that ask me is just slow it down and really think about calling in the tribe of people that you most resonate with and you like, like you're hosting a party. Who do you want to be there? And have that energy about it. You're absolutely right when people can feel what's behind your words. Yeah. And there's so many ways that you can write out numbers that aren't actually... What am I trying to say? You can put a number like $100,000 and then what the actual income was maybe 20 after expenses. And so we end up striving for these unrealistic numbers because they're not the actual numbers. I feel like that in marketing can be really discouraging for people as well.
Well, I instantly disregard it as not truth. For some reason, if sounds too good to be true, most people just chuck it away anyway. It's too good to be true. So I like to more or less show the transformation or, for me as a single mom, working from home was all I want. That was success to me. I just wanted to get back to balance. That's why I'm a business and lifestyle coach, because it's all about the lifestyle with me. The laptop lifestyle, the freedom to go back to family in the Midwest, visit them when I want to, be the first face that my daughter sees when she comes home from school. Divorcing her father a decade ago ripped me in half, that her life would have to change. So I did everything I could to get back to that balance, to get rid of the mommy guilt. Let's just be honest. That's what it's all about. I'm just kidding. But it really is. So I wake up and feel better about myself. No. But that was my success. So sometimes it's just saying, I did this. I built my business while working for corporate. I was even coaching out of my car on lunch breaks. I was doing podcasts at 5 a.m. You can do it. But I knew it was temporary. So I was eventually going to get to that balance again. And sometimes that's all. I don't have to say numbers. I don't have to throw in a bunch of, I tripled my income. And I did triple my salary, which was even easier to quit your job when you do that. But I don't have to throw a lot of that. Just throwing the emotion and the real story is enough, in my opinion, when it comes to marketing, if you want to call it that. Relationship-based marketing is kind of how I see it, is connect with people. Tell them, hey, I know your challenge. Here's your solution, or I've been there. I know what it smells like. Let me show you. Let me take you by the hand and be your guide from the side. That's what people are looking for versus the again, it looks like copied copyright. I cannot agree more. When you have this great idea as a coach and you're like, a year later, you look around, everyone's saying what you said. You're like, oh, great. It's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, fabulous. Did I copy them? Did I see that and not know it? You start to question your own self.
Mm-hmm.
Or was this just something that was good and juicy and took off? So it is what it is, but I get it. So would you say that, where's your favorite space to play when it comes to marketing?
So most everything that I share when it comes to social media is all on Facebook. So I've built, Prosperity Posse is my main course, really.
That.
Yeah.
So
PSSY, super feminine, all about, we really get into the power of using sexual energy to manifest. And so that product I created a year ago, and that product, just that one product in my portfolio of things that I do, has been $100,000 in sales.
Nice.
And so that has all come from Facebook and in-person connections. So that's what I teach, is relationship building, the nurture a connection. And I have small classes. I have small classes of 5 to 10 ladies at a time, and it's a higher investment. And so I don't need lots and lots and lots of leads coming through, and they always find me. They always reach out to me. It's never me being like, hey, you ready to start your business? It's like, I'm at a networking event and I get introduced, or I'm, in my book launch and somebody reads my book. And so right now, actually, I'm just getting in the mode of list building. That's not something I've done in my business. I've never mailed. I've always had so much resistance to it. And so my primary marketing channel has been one-on-one connections, and then following up with those connections on Facebook.
I love it. And it's a great platform to play in. I mean, when I worked in the corporate world, it felt like I was cheating. I would sort of have to do it on the down low, because I was being watched by corporate. So to be able to play in Facebook in your business was like, yay. I felt like a dog that got let out of the gate, woohoo, I get to play and I get paid for this.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. It is my favorite platform. For my speakers agency, I use LinkedIn a lot because it's a different kind of vibe, and they do want to see that professional side of you. But I have to actually put it in my calendar. Carrie, check your LinkedIn. I mean, just not a natural default for me at all.
Totally.
So forced, okay, I'll go look, check email in there and messages. But Facebook's, and I'm sure you can relate, you wake up, boop, you go right to that app and you check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, LinkedIn. I actually just updated my LinkedIn today. I just became a contributor for Entrepreneur Magazine. And so I was like Googling myself to see how people would be stalking me. And I'm like, okay, haven't posted on Twitter, haven't posted on LinkedIn. We got to get these things up to date.
Yep, I do. I do too. I have to do a system because it doesn't come natural, but Facebook definitely does. Yeah. And, you got to give Facebook credit. A lot of our marketing can be free, like you said, just relationship marketing. And in all honesty, it's our kind of demographic is playing there. Not to mention, it is the largest social media platform with the most people in it. What do they say? 2 billion now, I think they're at. Is that including all the fake profiles? I'm just kidding. Because we all know there's some out there, just a few. But no, it's great to just play. I'm a firm believer of don't put all your eggs in one basket in case the basket goes away, especially since Facebook is borrowed real estate. I don't see it going away, but they definitely know how to make their money too. I'm sure you run Facebook ads. Have you ever done Facebook ads as well?
Yeah.
So, they're going to get their money some way, somehow, but it's a smart organization. So I love that. Now, when you post, and we'll just go a little bit deeper here, you're on Facebook and you said you prefer vulnerability and being honest. What posts do you think seem to get the most attention or attraction? Are you asking questions? Are you posting a life event? Are you doing the typical pitch? My group has got 8 people. I have room for 2 more. Explain a little bit about that for our audience.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I had one of my clients in 2016 was half my revenue for the year. And this client didn't even know I was a coach at all. She just saw a post that I wrote and was like, whoa, you understand the codes of life. Like, I want to learn from you. So I can tell, oh my gosh, I can tell the moment I post something exactly how many likes and engagement it's going to get. And I'll give you the
feel it. Yeah.
I can so feel it. And I'll give you guys the secret to what it is. It's touching on a core human emotion. And so I remember, I think I got like 500 likes and 7 shares, whatever it was, on a post that says, when when your former fiance asked you to go to his wedding. And it was just talking about like my former fiance was getting remarried and everything that brought up for me. And so that was like a core human emotion. Like, oh my God, when you see on Facebook that your former boyfriend, partner, whatever, is now getting married, has found their lifelong partner, like what you like go through another mini breakup. So I wrote about that, how that was for me emotionally. And then it's like, boom, 5 people want to work with me, you know?
You're like, I'm talking about an ex-fiance, not even business. I love this. This is perfect.
Yeah. And then let's see some more recent ones I've done. You know, just recently I hopped on Facebook Live. I was moving to a new apartment. And as soon as I signed the lease papers, I was like, what am I thinking? Like, when will it ever be enough for me? Why do I feel like I always need to upgrade? It's like, okay, cool. Now I have this massive apartment that needs thousands and thousands of dollars in furniture. And just talking about the core human emotion of like, when will I feel like when I get there? When is it ever enough? And did I bite off more than I could chew? And there wasn't any like resolution to it. It was like, here's what's up for me.
I love that. You're not just sharing, but you're hitting that core emotion. There's a difference, definitely. And what I think is even more exciting again is you're not pitching anything about business.
Yeah.
You're just sharing your humanness, like you said. And that's what helps people go, I like you, I connect with you. The no like trust factor has always got to be a part of it before people buy from you anyway. But give them the keys to knowing you. Most people are so closed off. They're like this, work with me. I'll have clients that are like, I want to not be seen, but I want the money. I'm like, you have, in order to be known, you have to be seen. You have to show yourself. And if you don't share those stories, you're not letting us in to go, I get you. I've been there. I like your humanness. It matches my humanness. I want to play with you. And that's really, it's that simple. But you touched on, and I love Brene Brown's Daring Greatly. It's all about the vulnerability. If you were doing this high and mighty, I'm on a pedestal, I'm better than everybody else, no one's going to climb the pedestal to get to Jolie. They're just going to be like, well, okay, great.
Unless they want something from you, you know? And it's really easy to judge me. I get that. I actually trigger a lot of people. And so it's like, okay, cute blonde girl getting to travel the world, does whatever she wants, has a very successful business, publishes books, writes for Entrepreneur. And so I bring it down to humanity. I'm like, look, guys, I suffer with things that you do. And I bring myself down to earth and humble myself a lot. And I think that there's that connection there.
Right. It's something that people don't realize. You don't have to put yourself way up there. They already see you like that. So you don't have to like add fuel to that fire or fan that flame. But show your human side and it's going to offset it. They already look at you from the outside looking at, she's perfect. There's nothing wrong with her. She has a perfect life, you know, and they kind of blow it off. But when they hear that, I loved one of your posts, I think was, I'm an employee today, or something about you. I think you went to an S Corp where you had changed your company and corporation and so on. Or you hired yourself, or I can't remember what it was, but I laughed because I think I even commented because I get it because I've been doing this for so long. Like, yes, my CPA has been telling me to do the same thing. So like, we're going to do it. We're splitting into 2 different sections right now, but that's real. And it does pull you in. So you have a gift by all means, for sure. And you're doing everything right, sister.
It's so interesting. Like the things that people remember that I write. I'll see somebody out. They're like, oh, that one time, that one post. I'm like, oh yeah. Like people remember the stories.
Yes. Yes. I like to say you're Facebook famous, you know, because when you go networking, this happens when I'll venture out, God forbid, leave my own, you know, cushy life. So many people are like, you need to get an office and you need to do this. Like, I worked so hard to get out of the office and be able to work in my jammies. I don't want to go back to that cubicle or whatever that looks like. I'm not renting space. So I'm fighting that because I love working from home. I have a gorgeous view of the entire valley of Las Vegas. That's what I'm looking at right now. You know, why would I want to leave? You know, it's good stuff. But when I do venture out, because like you, I have a global business, so it doesn't matter where these clients come from. They're from all over the world. Networking in Vegas just kind of seems like I'm playing tiny, small, you know, it's just my backyard. When I do go out, people are like, oh, I know you, I've been following you, and you're trying to remember their name, and you're like, oh, I don't remember. And then they'll bring up a post from a year ago. I call that Facebook famous. You're Facebook famous.
Yeah, In a bubble, I am for sure.
In my own little world.
In one corner of the world, in one bubble at this moment in time, Facebook famous.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. So I have to ask you, because we have so many beautiful souls. You and I both have so many connections in San Diego. And that's where you were born and raised?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have to ask this. If it's too vulnerable, you don't have to share. But how did you uproot and move to Texas? Was there something was it to get away from that fiance? I'm just kidding.
It's so funny. I didn't move to Texas. I moved to Austin. It's very different.
Okay. That's right. Because Texas is very big.
Texas is Texas and Austin is Austin.
Got it.
We're our own little state inside Texas.
I love it.
This is vulnerable because there is something I want to say about it. So let's see. You have me on my edge. I was in a spiritual community. So I was in a community called Encinitas. It is the spiritual mecca of California. It's where Yogananda brought yoga to America.
Yep.
And there's a conversation there that I was so freaking tired of hearing, which is the broke ass life coach, the broke ass healer.
Yes.
And it's like everybody keeps each other in the same place. And that's a massive generalization. I have friends that are rocking it, crushing $1 million businesses. But for the most part, I was having a hard time feeling stimulated. I mean, I just think it's also a part of the culture. It's like the beach is right there and the green juice is right there. And like, let's see how little we can do every day to make it to the beach the longest. And there was just a vibration there that's really hard to just go for it. I feel like that's a perfect community go to when you're like ready to have a mini retirement at 35 or whatever. And so I knew I would miss the coast, but Austin has this vibration. And I swear there's more women in this city that are up to cool things where I just feel so stimulated. So I went from like big fish in little pond to now I'm like small fish and I'm so stimulated.
Yeah.
And it feels like a lot of growth here for me. And so, I mean, I have so much love to my city, Encinitas, and to all of the community that like bred me into like just this heart-centered, beautiful being. And for business, I'm more stimulated here in Austin.
Right. You have to do what's right for your calling.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does mean uprooting. And we're not judging anybody from Encinitas or anywhere in the San Diego area. But I do see, and this is a myth, the spiritual people can't be rich. Like if you play in the spiritual world, you can't have also wealth, which I just want to debunk that all day, every day, because that's my favorite place to play. If I could just play in spiritual land all day, I'd never come back to earth, just be in meditation land all day.
I can get stuck there too. Yes. I can so go there far and deep.
Yes. Yes. And then there's bills to be paid. So then it's like, back to work, back to earth. So I like that it's close by for me being in Las Vegas. I can either jump in my car and drive quick or take a quick flight. And I'm there for a weekend and I get that experience and then I'm back to work in Vegas. Vegas is a very different energy too. But, I'm from the Midwest, Michigan, born and raised. So moving here about a decade ago changed my whole life because it's just expansive. Because the desert, you can just see forever, and the mountains, it just opens up my expansion, its energy too. And it's worked well for me. It'll test you though. When you move, it will test you. I'm sure you probably felt that when you first moved, like, what did I do kind of feeling.
Yeah, totally. I was like, what am I doing here? And I really did have to give up something good to feel great.
Yeah.
And let's be real, the tax laws in Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a better home for my corporation and my business.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. No, Nevada's perfect for my corporations too. I'm not going to lie. It's a very business friendly state. It's all good. It's all good. Well, I want to go right into your free offer because I think it's super yummy and I want to share this with our audience because Jolie's being very generous today. So go into that for us, please.
Yeah. So I wrote, it's been about 2 years now that I wrote and launched Empowered, Sexy, and Free. Just last year, I launched The Spiritual Journey of Entrepreneurship, but I want to give you guys a copy to this one. I mean, this book for the woman who is just like looking to find her inner essence, gain clarity, see what she's going to create. This is my most vulnerable share. So you hear absolutely everything about my early 20s, like what I came from and what I had to choose in order to be the woman I am now. And I think it's a really inspiring story because it's like, holy fuck, if Jolie can do that, I can pull myself out of anything. I have a very colorful past, and I talk about it all. And it's also for the people that are interested in self-publishing and writing their story and stepping more into their vulnerability. I feel like it's a really great model for that. So Empowered, Sexy, and Free, this is my book. I'm going to give everybody a PDF copy of it. And within the book, there's also additional resources where you can go on my site and get audios and different exercises and things. So it's very interactive. So that book is going to be available for you guys. And if you have any questions, or you're just like, hey, you said something, Jolie, I want clarity on, I love emails. So feel free to shoot me a personal email, jolie@joliedawn.com. We can connect on Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook, follow my personal page. I do most of my writing there. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the book. Let me know what you think about it.
I love that. I love the title all by itself. Empowerment is sexy all by itself too.
Seriously.
Yes. Freedom's my favorite emotion on the planet. When my business starts to not feel that way, I'm like, okay, time to readjust some things. Something's going on. This feels like a heavy boulder up the hill. This isn't what I planned. So I do want to just real quick before I let you go, you mentioned you work with clients in group settings, and I'm like you. I like small, intimate stuff. I like to give a lot, and I can't. And if it's like, I feel like a mother hen with all her chicks everywhere. If I've got too many chicks, come back, let me help you. So I like to do small, intimate groups too. So do you do year-long programs? Kind of give our audience how you work with clients too.
Yeah, so my basic foundations class, where it's planning your first launch, having your first big win in business, declaring your name, declaring your signature process. Right now I have it in an 8-week course. And so that's just enough time where you have a fire under your butt to create something. And then my mastermind is 6 months, where it's advanced level business coaching, and we do a book together. And I actually, for the first time, am creating a series out of Empowered, Sexy, and Free. So my mastermind group that's about to graduate right now, we're going to have the first volume of the series of Empowered, Sexy, and Free. So eight weeks, and then I do private coaching for 3 months, and then my mastermind advanced level is 6 months.
Beautiful. Love that. It's a nice little tier.
Yes.
Good job. Super smart. Very good. Awesome. Very fun. Very, very, very fun. I thank you so much, Jolie, for being a part of this. I was looking forward to our interview today because I just can't wait to connect with her. She's such a beautiful light. And other lights, we just kind of see each other. We know we're like little lights passing in the dark. You know, I know her, I feel her. And you're just one of those special lights. So big hugs and big love to you guys. All of you that are watching today, hope you gained a lot and connect with Jolie. She is a Facebook queen, so you know where to find her. Jolie Dawn, okay? Look her up. So thank you so much, Jolie, and I'll sign off for now. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.